Right, so if you'll recall, we had a problem with the springs. One of them wasn't, the door was 62, 63 kilograms, and one of them wasn't correct. And they'd gone and swapped over. That door's not in use. So what we're going to do is focus on this door. And what I've done is you can see the cable there's a little bit of tension on there. And when I look at this, I've now released my ratchet that holds it, and I've added in the scale, and that's giving me 58. So 58. Now I've pulled this spring is still got the full weight is, well, most of it, because it's very tight spots. I can't really quite get the cable loose. So there's a bit of little bit of play, but it's close as damn it. It's giving me 57, call it 58 kilograms. Now it's pulling 58 kilograms. So why is that? What's going on here? Um, because on a torsion system, you got your bar going across, and then you've got your two springs, one on either side. And let's say the door weighs 80 kilograms. That's going to be a 40 kilogram. And the 40 kilogram must weigh up to 80 kilograms because it must lift the weight of the door. But yeah, we've got one spring with the same amount of force as the full weight of the door. So if that one is putting on 60 kilograms of weight, that one is putting on 60 kilograms. Surely the door would be lift up. I mean, it would just fly up, really. But this is not the case, because remember, this is now a pulley system. And remember this when ordering your stuff, because when you check your spring, you want to see that at this tension, it's pulling up. Each spring must pull up the same way to the door. And so let's say, for example, this door weighed 80 kilograms. That spring must be pulling 80 kilograms, and that spring must be pulling 80 kilograms. We're going to test that next, but we don't need it on video. You can get the idea of how we're testing the existing spring. If your springs are the same and you're replacing, you can miss this bit. You've weighed the door, and then go on to the next video ordering hardware. But for now, just because this is an interesting occasion, because we have these swapped over springs, which I was expecting this to happen. What's happening is it's a pulley system. It's pulling from the bottom. It's going through the cable pulley, then through the spring pulley and back. So with a spring pulley, with a pulley system, you're getting a mechanical advantage or mechanical disadvantage, or an advantage depending on which way you look at it. So when you look at your door travel, the door height, okay, if you had a spring, if let's say this door weighed 80 kilograms and you wanted it to be balanced, so you're 40 and 40 on either side, you would have to have a direct system down. But because it has to travel through, you have a pulley system, or travel through that way, which gives you a mechanical advantage. Now, the advantage is that you can either put in half the weight spring. So we had an 80 kilogram door. We would need 40 on this side. So we put a 20 kilogram spring, but it would have to travel twice the distance. So to keep the distance down, they've doubled the strength of the spring, put it through a pulley system, which made it travel half. And that's how pulleys work. You actually divide how much force you need by the amount of travels in the pulley. So because there's two, we are now, we would have an 80 kilogram spring that would travel half the distance. And because half the distance means that your track itself is shorter, the track would have to come to about here if there wasn't a pulley system, but there is. So each spring on this door should be a 60 kilogram spring, one there and one there, for a 60 kilogram door. So in a nutshell, your spring force pulling up must be equals to the weight of the door per spring. And if you get that correct, when you're ordering, you can walk in, you can say, my door is a single standard door and it weighs 60 kilograms. I'd like springs, please. and they're going to give you two 60-kilogram springs. So it's a little bit confusing, especially if you've done a lot of torsion garages and you think, well, okay, basically divide the weight of the door by half and that'll give you the size of the spring. No, on these, each spring has to be the same weight as the door. So this is very interesting. I'm going to figure out what the weight of that is and or the force of that is using the exact same technique. And then we are going to be swapping around with whatever is the correct spring so that it has its full force on the lifting. And then at the end, it's nice and slack and we have a winner. So guys, yeah, thanks for watching this one. This is a little bonus episode, but if you do need if you do need to now order or you've checked, then just move on to the next video, which is about ordering your hardware.